using technical analysis to trade the markets. So right now, we're looking at gold. All right, so we're looking at gold on the 30-minute time frame. So what we'll be doing is when I look at such a chart, right? The first thing I take note of is that there is, we can see that there is like a descending resistance, right? Somewhere like that. The thing about descending resistance is that it's usually it's not always that accurate, but it's good as a gauge to see that, the markets are dropping, right? It could be a bigger channel, right? We can actually see if it's part of a bigger channel. So what I like to do, I draw it this way. Now it's, the bottoms don't line up really well, but we can roughly tell that, there is definitely bearish momentum pushing price down. All right. So the next thing I'll do is I'll always begin with the most obvious Fibonacci retracement from the top here all the way to the bottom. Just need to move this aside. All right. So to the bottom over here, I will have my full list of Fibonacci, and I notice that 50% Fibonacci retracement. We can see price is right at that level. Okay, and 61% retracement is up here. So I'm just going to filter out 50 and 61%. So these two are the key levels I'm looking for. Next thing, I'm going to do a Fibonacci extension from bottom. So I look for the zigzag kind of arrangement. And what I noticed that a 78.6 retracement extension, can you see? It lines up exactly with the 50%. So that is the reason why we're seeing this kind of reaction, right? You can see price reversing from there currently. Okay, 78.6 extension. What I like to look at, what I like to do is I also like to load everything and see, okay, it's worth noting that there's a 100% extension that is pretty close to the 61.8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 78.6, and I'm going to manually add in 100% extension, right? So these are the few key levels which I'm looking for. And lastly, I'll draw a big retracement all the way from the top. I see if it lines up with anything. Usually it doesn't. It really depends, right? So nope, it doesn't line up with anything. Okay, so what I have identified here so far is that there's a very nice 78% extension. There's a very nice 50% retracement, right? And the next key level is over here. So if I were to sell, right, I would use this as my sell entry, right? I'll put this and I'll call this my sell entry. Just need to sell entry. If I want to put my stop loss, right, I have identified this area over here as a key resistance area. So always remember, when you're putting a stop loss, you want it to be slightly beyond your major resistance area, right? So I'm going to put this as my stop loss. And how far down shall we play our move? Right. Usually I would just do a Fibonacci retracement, and I'll take it to the most recent high over here, and I will see, okay, 38% looks like a good level, right? We can play it all the way down, but that's a little bit far away. So what I'll be doing is I'll play my take profit all the way down to the 38%. The reason for that is because 23% is a little bit too close. The risk to reward is not good enough. 38% seems just about fine for now. Okay, so I'm going to put 38% there. 30%. I'm going to play the move from here. I'm going to play the move down from here. Okay, and this is going to be a bearish arrow. Okay, it's worth noting that I believe if you look at something like the Ichimoku cloud. Yep, okay. I'm going to need to adjust the template for this. We just look at the main momentum area, right? We can see that price is trying to break out of the red cloud, and clearly is not doing so. So it's actually a pretty nice setup, right? It not able to break out of the area. There's very strong descending momentum, right? It's at a key retracement and extension level. So yeah, it looks like price can drop all the way down to this level. Okay, so that is the key setup that we're looking at today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section below, or head over to InstaForex, where we have a page dedicated for you to ask me all these questions. Okay. Thank you for your time and trade safe, everyone.